Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. So in today's video I'll be talking about chapter 217 of Jujutsu Kaisen. So in this chapter we see the fight continue from where it left off in the last chapter, with Sukuna coming face to face with Yorozu after planning to kill her to completely sink Megumi. Chapter starts with the two of them coming face to face inside a stadium inside a Sendai colony, where Yorozu remarks that he has a serious advantage over that body, and also says that he can switch back to his original body, so which indicates that Sukuna is by choice staying in the body of Megumi. And then she says that this could be because of the future circumstances based on which you have decided this to choose stay in this form. To which Sukuna says, "You really think you do have a future after this fight?" And then they get serious and they start attacking one another, and we see a bunch of action scenes between the two of them. When finally she says Bleh, and then remarks that Angel was also here, but she could not recognize you, but I did the moment I saw you. And then she asks Sukuna, "Do you wanna know why?" Sukuna, clearly pissed off and does not seem to care, and says that stop expecting me to answer every little question. And then Yorozu, almost without caring about what Sukuna responds, says it's because of love. Here basically Yorozu is referring to the time when Angel came face to face with Yuji while Sukuna was still inside of him, and she failed to identify Sukuna. However, when Yorozu inside of Sumiki came face to face with Yuji, she was able to recognize him instantly. And she goes on to say how the power of love is greater than the power of hatred, and then asks Sukuna that let's kill each other. After this, Yorozu makes a bet with Sukuna that if she manages to win, then she will end up marrying him. Sukuna, who is confident that he cannot lose the fight, says, "Do as you please. In case I lose, it's as good as being dead, so I am okay with marrying you." And then she becomes stoked after this and goes on to fantasize about their wedding and how she would like go, and if both of them end up getting married, then they would go to a village and kill a number of people, and also what they would be cooking for their marriage. So a lot of like random stuff is happening at this point. After this, the fight actually gets serious, and we see Sukuna summoning his divine dogs of Megumi. Now these divine dogs of Megumi are looking far more ferocious than they originally do. Like they have this sinister kind of a look to it. So this goes on to say that when Sukuna is able to use Megumi's power, he kind of adds his own touch to it, making it far more dangerous than it already is. Post this, we see that Yorozu is a little bit surprised by the attack, and she's able to dodge very easily, and she also responds quite well. And they're also like at this point, and up until this point, we see that the two of them are fairly evenly matched, and finally she's able to like take care of the dogs. And as this happens, she says, "Wait a second," and tells Sukuna that isn't that your cursed isn't that your vessel's cursed energy? To which Sukuna says, "Yes, it is indeed." And then Yorozu seems shocked and she asks Sukuna that why isn't he using his own techniques. To this, Sukuna says that, and this part is really sinister because he's planning to use Megumi's attacks to fight with Yorozu, so that in case when he is able to defeat and get rid of her, it will look as if Megumi is the one responsible for her death. Upon hearing this, we see that Yorozu becoming berserk, and she just starts throwing a tantrum. And this is a bit funny and also pretty weird. And she goes on to say that how could you like plan to touch your wife to be with someone else's technique, and she's like, "I'm not into that kind of fetish." And that's when we see that Yorozu finally getting serious, and we learn more about her abilities. So she is mainly a special curse tool user, and her main ability is construction technique, which can basically replicate any substances that she has a knowledge of. And so she uses this technique to create some form of a liquid metal that maintains its physical properties but can also change its shape and volume using cursed energy control. And as the chapter comes to an end, we see that Yorozu has transformed into this bug-like creature, which looks kind of terrifying, which also has an armor of flesh, but also a variety of borrowings from different points of evolution. So yeah, the creature looks kind of creepy. We also see that Sukuna is about to summon the Mahoraga as the chakra appears right above his head. So it is interesting, and it will be like exciting to see what happens in the next chapter, as the both will be preparing to fight one another. Now we don't see Sukuna using all his true abilities, but to see him use Megumi's ability and to master it to this extent, it's pretty good. And the future chapters are going to be very much exciting, and we have to wait to see what happens. And one more important update is that Jujutsu Kaisen will be going on break in the next week, so we will be getting the next chapter in the following week. So, and I think like the main battle will take place in that chapter, as currently it was more like a teaser, and none of them really showed their true abilities. And another thing to note is Yorozu, while she may be a little bit weird, but she is a strong opponent for Sukuna, and she has been able to stand up to him really well. And she also, like, her techniques are really good, so it will be more interesting to see that how much of damage she can do to Sukuna. Obviously, it will be very difficult for her to take care of Sukuna considering the kind of power he has, but we'll have to wait for the next chapter to see what happens. And I personally like this chapter. I have just one complaint with regards to the final like armor of Yorozu, is that like her form didn't look that good. Like in terms of the artwork, I didn't find it that exciting. I think it would have been done better, but okay, it's like it's fine, I guess. So let's see how like her abilities are after this, and it'll be exciting for the to see what happens in the next chapter and who wins that one. So let's see you